Good evening, ASA level pure mathematics. Right, this week we are going to look at differentiation, revision on differentiation. You have done differentiation, but in this case we want to revisit it. So we are going to discuss, these are the concept on differentiation, then we will look at the application later. So on differentiation, we are going to first start with the differentiation of polynomials. We are going to start at the differentiation of polynomials. So you must know the notation. So we have the function. The function is in the form y is equals to f of x. So y can be denoted by f of x. Then we have the gradient function. The gradient function is known as the derivative. The derivative. So the derivative is denoted by dy over dx. That is the gradient function, or the derivative is denoted by dy dx, or you can write it as f prime of x. You can write it as f prime of x. So this is the notation for the derivative. We are going to see that if you are going to differentiate this one again, we are going to obtain the second derivative. It is also denoted by d squared y over dx squared. We are going to see it later that if you differentiate again the gradient function, you get the second derivative, which is denoted by d squared y over dx squared, or f double prime of x, f double prime of x. F double prime of x. Right, so I've highlighted earlier that dy dx is the derivative of y with respect to x, or is the same as d dx, means we are differentiating a function with respect to x. So we are going to apply these symbol rules, which states that, let me zoom, let's zoom here. Right, it states that if y is equals to x to the power of n, then dy dx is equal to n x to the power of n minus 1. Simply meaning that, suppose if you have your y is equal to, let's say, x cubed, then dy dx, we are simply bringing down the power. We are simply bringing down the power. The power of n, the power here is 3. So if you bring down 3, this is the power. So if you bring down 3, we are going to remain with n minus 1. And we said n is 3. So 3 minus 1 is 2. We are going to remain with the 3x squared. We are going to remain with the 3x squared. Again, if we have this function, for instance, we have y is equal to 2, maybe x to the power of 4. As you can see, our a is 2, our n here is 4. So if you want to find dy dx, if you want to find dy dx, if you want to find dy dx, we are going to have, if we bring down 4 here, it will be 2 times 4. 2 and 4, they are going to multiply. then x, we are going to remain with the power of n minus 1. In this case, it will be 3. So you simplify further, and you are going to get 8 x cubed. That will be your derivative. So this is the demonstration. So here we have example number 3 there, from a to b. Our function, this is y. We want to find the derivative of the function is either dy dx or f prime of x. So in this case, your function is this one, and your f prime here, they are saying we use the formula there. You bring down 8 here, and you're going to remain with 8 minus 1, and your answer will be 8x to the power of 7. This is the derivative. This one, you can also write it as dy dx. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. F prime of x and dy dx is the same thing. You can write it as dy dx. Then b, we are given f of x equals to 6 over x to the power 4. So in this case, if you are given complicated functions like this, you have to rewrite so that we can see the power of x. So this one is the same as writing it as 6. Then you take your x, you have done indices on your IGSC. If you take this power, if this x upwards here, the power is going to be negative. So it is going to be negative 4. I haven't derived, I haven't find the dy dx, but I have rewrite my function like this. So if you have a function that is more complicated, like you have to rewrite and see what is the power of x. In this case, our linear power of x here, it's minus 4. So using the law, we are going to bring down minus 4 downwards here. As you can see, if you say 6 times minus 4, if we bring down minus 4 here, you're going to get minus 24, from where we are multiplying 4 and 6. So we are going to remain with what? Minus 4 minus 1. We subtract the power using the definition. And you are going to get what? You are going to get minus 24, then x to the power of minus 5. And if we are to simplify again, the power of x is negative. You can rewrite it as we are going to remain with minus 24 on top, then over, we are bringing down this one, x to the power of 5, without the negative power like this one. So as you can see, this is our final answer, right? And c here, if you see at c, we have f of x is equals to 3x. So in this case, the power of x here is 1. So if you want to find the derivative, we're going to say 1 times 3, which is 3. Then the remaining power will be like this one. The remaining power is 1 minus 1. And 1 minus 1, you get x to the power of 0. And x to the power of 0 is 1. So if you differentiate 3x, we are going to get 3. If you differentiate 7x, you get 7. If you differentiate 12x, you get 12. Then the last part on D, our y is equals to 5. This is a constant. We have to rewrite this one. There is x. We can't see x, but we can put the power of 0. So x is the power of x here is 0. So if you bring down this 0, it multiplies 5 and cancels everything. So if you differentiate a constant, you get 0. You must know that when we differentiate a constant, c or a number, we always get 0. We always get 0. Right? Moving on to the next example. We have this one. Our dy dx is equals to this. So let us rewrite this one. If we are to rewrite this, it's 3. And what will be the power of x? Square root of x is the same as x to the power of half. X to the power of half. As you can see here, square root of x is the same as x to the power of half. So now, what are we going to do? We are going to say we are going to bring down half. So if we bring down half, it is going to multiply with 3. 3 times half. This is now the derivative. We are now looking for the derivative, our f prime, our dy dx. We are now looking at our dy dx here. So it will be 3 times half. Then what will be the power? The remaining is half minus 1, which is minus half. Then 3 times half, you get 3 over 2. You get 3 over 2. Then x to the power of minus half. Then if you rewrite x to the power of minus half, you are supposed to get 3 all over 2. Then you take this negative downwards and it will be x to the power of half. We remove the negative by taking x downwards. And what do we know? X to the power of half is square root. So this will be our final answer. So with these examples, you are now able to do your exercise. You are now able to do your exercise 1. Your exercise 1. This is your exercise. You have to do your exercise. This is your exercise number 1 up to 3. So with this video, I hope you are now able to answer number 1 to 3. Thank you.